Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Nathan Hager, joined by Bloomberg's Kriti Gupta. And of course, Kriti, there is a lot of focus on the copper market this morning after President Trump's 50% tariff threat. So we got to talk about the stock bellwether in that space, Freeport-McMoRan. Good morning.
Good morning, Nathan. Freeport-McMoRan, FCX is your ticker, higher by 2.4% this morning, trading just over $47 a share, really reflecting, to your point, what you see in the broader macro kind of economic sphere. This idea that you are starting to see tariffs be built into the U.S. copper contracts is a big deal. You compare them to the LME copper contracts, which is the one that trade here in London. They're the more widely traded ones. You are seeing a massive dispersion / divergence is what I'm trying to say between the two contracts. And that's reflecting here in Freeport-McMoRan, that premium that is commanded by those U.S. contracts. So FCX shares are higher by about 2.4%, again, trading at $47 a share. You've seen that reflected around the world, though. The idea here simply being that there is going to be moving around. I'm going to try to get my words right out this morning, Nathan. A moving around of some of the actual supply. The concern here, on the other hand, though, is simply that the U.S. has been front-loading a lot of these copper imports anyway. So the idea of even more coming in or coming in at a higher price maybe cushions a little bit of the blow because the inventories are so high. Some wonky economics showing up in Freeport-McMoRan's price. Let's talk about another company that is, I would say, a bellwether. I think it's fair to say. Starbucks this morning. SBUX is your ticker, higher by 1.6%, trading at $96 a share. Nathan, I say it's a bellwether because caramel lattes get me through life, and that's I think
understood.
The answer
these
to
hours,
everything.
Absolutely,
exactly. I need the sugar, I need the coffee, I need to pay $1 million for it. And there is some news though from CNBC actually, but also from others saying that their China unit is set to draw interest for a controlling stake. This is a really important story because Starbucks has been trying to really win over the Asian market broadly. It hasn't really been able to do it. Coffee is not as easy of a sell in a tea-dominated culture. Starbucks has struggled with that. You've seen it in their sales. You've seen it in their exposure. And that is showing up today. So the idea of it getting interest from another party is a good thing for Starbucks. So those shares getting a boost this morning as well. And speaking of boost, let's talk about M&A. And M&A Wednesday is the new norm,
I guess.
think,
Really.
This summer, at least. Merck coming out with a pretty decent deal. MRK confirming some rumors that we've already seen for Verona Pharmaceuticals. This is a British company. Their ADRs, though, are listed in the States. VRNA is your ticker, higher by 21% this morning, trading at about $104 a share and change. VRNA is your ticker there. Merck shares, on the other hand, up by about 0.3%. We'll see if that M&A trade shakes out closer to the open. Nathan, I'll leave you with one final one, and that is T-Mobile, down about 1.9% this morning. TMUS is your ticker, getting a downgrade over at KeyBank, saying the valuation is simply too lofty.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.